110 and then 116, 112. So he did.
And then since then, he got knocked out by Manuel, right?
No, Manuel knocked him out before that.
Okay, it's just all the different.
He got the knockout against Juan Manuel Marquez. Then he fought Brandon Rios on the comeback, and then from Rios he went to Tim Bradley Jr.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm not too big on this fight. I'm gonna go check it out tomorrow at a bar. I'm not buying a pay-per-view. And the thing is, at what point do you think in Berto's career was, like you said, he came in being able to throw every punch, being explosive, but it just seems like maybe around after the Ortiz fight,
he was never the same.
Definitely once he got to Robert Guerrero, he just became resigned to, I'm just gonna be a brawler.
And he had the personal issues with the hurricane,
the earthquake.
In Haiti. Yeah. So it's been a lot that he's been dealing with. And I also think that when you look at his body type, he's been fighting big guys. He's been fighting, and he's one of those guys that had to get through their fire to deliver his own. So he's just been, it's hard to be shorter than everybody, always have the reach disadvantage. It's just tough. He definitely has earned his reputation by getting out there and banging with people. So it is what it is. I'm glad that he'll get a payday before his career is up, and I hope that he can make the best of it and at least have a decent fight.
That was one of the things. Like, I felt like he struggled. I mean, he is undersized, and it's probably he was proud to stay at 147. I guess he could make 140. I will say he is a fighter. Whereas Floyd is kind of a businessman fighter. But I think it's a good story where a guy hung with it. He he came back out, because actually the Soto Carras was one of his better strategic tactical performances, and he earned a lot in terms of restoring, getting to that bigger stage and showing you that I'm here and I'm a major player. But we do know the ceiling on him real quick. So, and y'all have to excuse me, man. I got to let Apollo out before he messes up the whole show. So we'll take a quick break.
You are listening to
I got to roll.
With show host Wood.
Welcome back, man. I'm sorry about that. A little brief intermission. My brother had to leave, so I'm gonna finish the show. We were trying to wrap it up shortly anyway, and then I just took a moment and watched the PBC card that was on earlier. So I just want to finish really quickly. I think both of me and him believe that Mayweather is probably going to either get a unanimous decision win against Berto, but hopefully he has a spirited effort. I just wanted to make a quick comment. Floyd was on social media. I believe it was one of his personal accounts or a statement made by someone on his team that was kind of disrespectful to me, especially whenever he compares himself to the greats of the game. The greats of yesterday or yesteryear especially. But he had a post saying that Julio Cesar Chavez was 87-0 over a 13-year period, but Floyd is 48-0 over a 20-year period. And I'm like, in my opinion, that statement alone, that's the point. In 13 years, Cesar Chavez fought 87 opponents, and here you are with 48 in 20 years. And I know fighters don't fight with the same frequency that they used to, but come on, man, that just seems like such an ignorant comparison right there. And then also, speaking of 48-0, what is the significance of that? What is the historical significance of that? I mean, this is just some number. I mean, it's great. That's a heck of an accomplishment. But to me, it's almost like Babe Ruth 714. I mean, when Bonds and some of these other guys were taking a run, you constantly heard 714, 714, 714, which was Babe Ruth's total. But the record belongs to Hank Aaron at 755. And we don't hear a whole lot about that 755, which Bonds later surpassed. But I'm just saying, even I would imagine possibly with A-Rod, I don't know how much longer he sticks around with this heck of a comeback season that he's in the process of completing. But 48-0, I mean, obviously Cesar Chavez was 87-0. Sugar Ray Robinson had well over 120 fights. Rocky Marciano obviously went the 49-0. But just this 48-0, I just don't understand how they're trying to market it like it's one of the greatest records in all of sports. I mean, it's just not. Not trying to disparage Floyd. He's had a wondrous career, an illustrious career, but I just think, I think it's pretty obvious that he's going to fight beyond 49 fights. That's probably one thing that me and my brother were going to cover. We're both pretty sure that happens. And he was mentioning before he left that he's a firm believer, or I think he alluded to it, that he thinks this IV story was leaked out there so that Manny can line himself up for a part 2. And I probably agree with, I don't know about the leakage, that angle of it, but I believe there will be some angling and some politicking to get that Mayweather-Pacquiao 2 fight, for obvious reasons. So that was all, man. I'm going with Mayweather with the unanimous decision. I flirt around with saying Berto. I may have gotten into it before the break that I think at some point Berto just became a brawler, just gave up on defense altogether. I will say that Jesus Soto Kara's fight was one of the best fights I saw him complete. Well, not complete because he was stopped early, but he showed me a lot in that fight, in that lost fighting one-handed. But it was like around Ortiz, Robert Guerrero, somewhere around there. It just seemed like Berto just adopted a style where I'm just trying to hit you one more time than you hit me. I'm trying to get you out of there, and I think that's gonna, same thing here. I don't know if Floyd is gonna engage on a level that he would like to, but I just think he's gonna try to pressure him the whole fight. And like I said, the key is, can he land that one big shot in similar fashion that Sugar Shane Mosley did, but go ahead and try to finish it. I don't think it's gonna happen, but we'll see. Moving on. My brother did leave. He did depart. We were going to get into some MMA stuff. It is an interesting fight with Conor McGregor fight. I don't do a lot of MMA, but I am interested to see who emerges victorious with Josie Aldo and Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor has talked cash stuff, so we're going to see what goes on with that. And then my brother also mentioned that Weidman is fighting, I believe he said the guy's name was Luke. But, Weidman caught my attention on the 2 victories over, the guy that used to want to fight Roy Jones, Alexander Silva. So Weidman's on the card. It is interesting that Dana White has UFC going up against Floyd, but maybe I think a lot of people are ready for Floyd to move on. So I think he's losing that respect that he once had all over. But like I said, I do believe there'll be a fight 50, possibly even beyond that. I think just comes down to what the money's looking like, and it'll go from there. Quickly, I want to get ready to wrap this up. Tonight was an excellent card on PBC on Spike. Man, Errol Spence Jr., somebody to definitely keep an eye on. I mean, he has the complete package. The only thing we don't know is about his chin, per se. He did get touched a little bit tonight, but he's got nice height, decent length. Seems like he can. He's already at 147. It seems like he could possibly get up to 154 later in his career, maybe even 160. Power, can throw all the shots. He fights intelligent. He, like I think Tarver mentioned on there, he seems very well grounded. He hangs around with his family. His dad trains him. He got an 8th round KO over Van Heerden. He bombed away on him, but he fought. But he did everything off the jab. That's one thing that I really like to see, and I like to see that he went for the finish. He just seems like a fighter. I mean, and that's one thing I just said earlier with Floyd. You want to get some of these guys in here that just want to be fighters, and Thurman is kind of in that ilk. Brooke is showing me some things. Khan, while maybe a little chinny, he wants to fight the best. You got a lot of younger guys out here, in a card like tonight really just shined, put the spotlight back on the game of boxing itself. Pritchard Cologne was I think they were junior middleweights. Pritchard Cologne went for his 16th win. He just brutalized vicious Vivian Harris. I didn't even know Vivian Harris was still around, but he got KO'd in the 4th round. I didn't know if Cologne had that type of power. I know he was long, and he was quicker, and I liked what he was doing with his jab. Some hooks were nice, little body work, but once he closed the distance between him and Vivian and just became disenchanted or disrespectful or just disregarded Vivian's offense, and he stepped to him and closed that gap and just finished him off with a nice flurry of punches. I hope that's pretty much it for Vivian. He says he doesn't get a chance to train for these fights. He took this fight last second, but wow, he was savagely, brutally KO'd tonight. Errol Spence's KO came in the 8th round, and then lastly, Karpinski, who took on the name Kryptonite, I guess, for this fight, who had a victory against the once promising Chad Dawson, but tonight he stepped in there with Superman from Montreal, Canada, Adonis Stevenson, Superman, at 175 light heavyweight, and wow, Karpinski got blown out. I don't know how. It's great that he beat Chad Dawson, but to only prepare for these world champion caliber fights and only prepare with sparring matches against your brothers, that's probably just not gonna get it. But he was aggressive. He came out in the first round highly aggressive, and I thought that was going to lead to his to a short night anyway, the way that he was jumping in on somebody as heavy-handed as Adonis Stevenson was. So again, I think me and my brother, I'm gonna go ahead and get this show up because I wanted to get a Floyd, a show up in advance of the Floyd fight, at least 4, 5, 6, maybe even a week ahead of the fight. But this fight kind of snuck up on me, like I just really didn't have the interest in it. And but at the last minute, I started getting certain people, tried to get in touch with different people to put up a show. I guess me and my brother will take a shot at this MMA show tomorrow. Like I said, that's not really my game, but if he's willing to come back over and talk about it, then the Wood Brothers Boxing Barrage, we'll move on to some MMA. Maybe I can read up on something tonight, catch some footage of some of the guys that are fighting tomorrow. I did have a question about Rousey, with her possibly moving up in weight, but I guess that'll have to wait. Again, thanks for checking out the Pay Me No Mind show with your man Wood. Like I said, this is the Wood Brothers Boxing Barrage. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out. Like I said, had a much better show planned to finish off some things, but my brother had an emergency that he had to go take care of, so it's just me. Thanks for your time, and until next one, peace.